What is up, coaches? So wanted to go over the empty barbell complex. Seeing a lot of things wrong with it that we're doing in class. So I've got an opportunity to shadow you guys a lot. So just to make us all be better and sharpen the edge, want to go over it. So empty barbell complex. One, it is to knock the rust off, get people familiar with movement. They're not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little mini workout, and yes, if you were doing a barbell club and classic weightlifting, like you were training for a competition, you might modify this a little bit. But for our people, this is what we need to do. So first movement is that eccentric deadlift, and you can see I'm snatch grip here. Snatch and clean grip don't matter. All of these same movements are exactly the same. That's why we do them. So they're interchangeable. On the eccentric deadlift, get everyone set first. So everyone's standing here, shoulders are forward. Should be all nice, up in the ready position. Bar is at my hip. My lats are active. I'm pulling this bar. It's pushing into my pelvis right now. That is the start position. So one, you're gonna have to tell everybody to get ready, stand tall, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Then when we do that eccentric slide, we're gonna dip, push the hips back. The bar is still in contact with me. And then I slide to my knees. And when I get to my knees, then I start to squat a little bit. And then stand up. The bar is in contact the entire time. Every lift, each three, the bar is in contact. What I see a lot of people do is they're just hanging here like this, and they're just doing a deadlift like that. That's not how we deadlift, okay? So it's a little bit more conventional. A clean pull and a snatch pull are really close to the deadlift, but a little bit different. And that is, when we get to the knee, our shoulders over the bar. Then our hips come down. On a conventional deadlift, hips will probably be up a little bit more. So be mindful of that on this first movement. All right, next movement, dip, drive, and shrug. Those are said in a specific order. So dip, my chest stays behind the bar. It's in the coach's notes like that on purpose. See a lot of people when they dip, they go like this. That's a hinge. Now we're gonna make the movement become a kettlebell swing. We are looking for leg drive. So in order to practice that, we need to dip by pushing the knees out. The bar stays at my hip. The bar does not slide down. I am right here at my hip and I dip. Now I'm in that power position. And then I'm gonna drive. My weight is balanced in my feet and I can use my legs by driving. So I'm squeezing my butt hard. The shrug is after the butt is squeezed. My arms are long, my elbows do not bend. So common faults I see on this is here. That is not a dip, drive, and shrug. So we want to work on getting that leg drive and a shrug at the finish. All right, elbows high and outside. So on this one, once again, see a lot of people hinging, going into that kettlebell swing, pulling that bar up. If that bar is off my chest and my elbows are over the bar, I'm doing this wrong. I see it a lot. I can name a dozen people. So the goal of this is building on that dip. Chest stays behind the bar, weight is balanced in the feet, and then I drive, squeeze my butt, power through my legs because I'm looking for my legs to move, and then I've shrugged, and then my elbows come up. The bar is at my sternum here, and my elbows are never under the bar. The only time my elbows are under the bar is when I go to turn over to the front rack or turn over to the snatch. So it should look like so. Dip. And the bar is in contact with my body the entire time. I'm actually trying to touch my elbow to the collar. So it is not there. That's doing all kind of funkiness, overextending my back, and if my shoulders are back like this, I cannot effectively turn the bar over. So super important that their arms are somewhat loose and we're not holding the weight here. It's literally power pull, power pull. So we don't hold it, we let it just come to where gravity wants to take over and then let it do its thing. All right, the muscle snatch. So, muscle snatch portion, once again, the bar stays at the crease of the hip. And in order to do that, I have to have my lats on. So I'm pushing the bar into my hip, not letting my hips go back and the bar swing here, and then I'm just throwing it up in the air, okay? See a lot of that. It is push the bar into the hips because I'm ready. Then I'm going to dip, drive, elbows high and outside. The bar is in contact with my body and I turn over and push straight to the ceiling. That's what it should look like. Not this. So weight balance in the feet, bar close, fast turnover. All right, this is where it changes up from the clean and the snatch. So everything up to this point is the same. Your hands are just in a little bit different position, and the bar meets your hip at a little bit different position. But once we are overhead, now we're going to adjust our feet to our squat position. I'm going to push that bar up. My head is a little bit forward. My chin is a little bit down. I'm going to take my breath, and I'm going to push my knees out, and I'm going to squat below parallel if I can. If I cannot, you will just go to whatever position does not compromise your back. Then we have our drop snatch. So our bar's on our back. We just did some overhead squats to kind of get us primed for that movement. I'm going to, again, ready, my back is tight, my elbows are under the bar. I see a lot of people here. Elbows under the bar, so I can push straight up. And I'm gonna land from my jump position, that power position, I'm gonna land in my squat position. So I'm moving my feet out about a width of my shoe every time, as well as learning how to push the bar up and get under it. So this is more about dropping under the bar and not doing a press like so, but actually dropping. So the first one's a quarter squat, try to go half, and then a full. So the bar usually stays here on our back. We're gonna go down to the bottom of that squat. They can either walk, once again, it's elbows under the bar, chest up. We're trying to get extension through that back. So I'm here, chest up, elbows under the bar, not rounded forward like this. If I can't do that, I'm gonna sit here. Yes, I'm on my toes. I don't have my lifters on, and I'm just gonna move my hips around. Even go a little wider out if I need to. If we can't do 5 steps, just hang out here for like 30 seconds. Now that we're down here in the bottom of our squat, don't look at me because I'm on my toes right now. Chest is up though. I'm trying to talk to you guys. Probably the thing that I've seen fix most people's snatches, and yes, it's a strength position thing, is that press and snatch. It's very hard to even stand here, lean forward, and try to push this bar overhead. It doesn't work. You have to have a vertical torso. So that press and snatch, the next thing that we do, I'm down in the bottom of my squat, my chest is up, my elbows are under the bar, and I push it up and back down. If I cannot do that, I will stand up and just press behind the neck. Or I can go to a quarter squat and press. I'm trying to work on getting that upper back more vertical and ready to receive the snatch and be a stronger position. Because catching here isn't good. We need to be straight up and down. So then we're back to the full movement, tying it all together. So when we start, I got my stance, my foot position, standing tall, my lats are on, the bar's pushed back into my hips. Say that every time. Shoulders pinned back and down, we're back and tight. And then I make contact the entire way down to my mid-shin. Contact all the way back to the hip. Jump, bar overhead, and pass through that full squat. So we're tying all of our movements together 3 times. And it can be just like that. It does not have to be crazy, super over-exaggerated. Nice, slow, and controlled. Then we work on speeding it up. So I know that, not everybody listens to everybody's cues, but those are the things I'm going to be looking for and the things that I need to hear with how we coach weightlifting here. So take that to heart, learn it, practice it, and let's go coach some awesome people.